Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let us learn and see how to manage our domain in private network. That is, let's say I have an EC2 instance or you can say server where in that server I am hosting my company related private website. Now I want only the users of my company or you can say my company employees who are having access to this particular VPC servers. Only they can able to access this particular company private server. That is, so for employees, I have created some servers for them where they can use these servers for their company work, where these servers are also present in the same VPC. Now, whenever my company worker wants to visit this site, I want to provide a facility for them to visit this site from the EC2 instances which are present in this VPC. Let's say if my employees tries to access this company server, company private website from external server to this VPC, then they do not able to access this. That is, whenever my employees or anyone is requesting from external servers to my company private website, where in this website I post my news or anything related to my company. Now, if anyone try to accept this website from external servers, that request need to be denied. Whereas whoever the persons, the company employees are requesting this website from the servers which are present in the same VPC, for them, I am expecting to allow the request. For them only, I am expecting to allow the request to get the content from this website, right? Yeah. So that's what I want to do. So for this, I want to tell you one more thing, that is currently this EC2 instance IP address I am using for accessing this website. So for my requirement, what I'm expecting is I am expecting to create a private domain for this server, and I want to allow the traffic only from the servers which are present in the same VPC of my server, that is for my website, right? Yeah. So like that I want to do. So in order to create my custom domain and manage the domain, do I have any service in AWS? Yes. What is that? Route 53. By using this Route 53 service, you can able to create and manage your DNS servers. Here, what I'm expecting? I'm expecting to create a hosted zone. What I'm expecting to create? I'm expecting to create a hosted zone for this. Within this VPC, I want to create a hosted zone. So first I want to create a hosted zone for this website. Then after creating my hosted zone, what I need to do? I need to route the traffic. I need to create one domain. I need to create a domain to route the traffic coming towards that domain, domain coming towards the domain to where? To this particular server, right? Yeah. So to this server, to this company private website. So First, I want to create a hosted zone. Then I want to create a record in order to route the traffic coming towards my provided domain to this server IP address. Then again, I want to show you the last one, that is I want even create an alias name, that is I want to create another record to route the traffic from another URL to this website URL, right? I want to do these three things. So first I want to create a hosted zone for this private VPC. Then I want to create a domain URL in order to route the traffic towards this web server. Then I want to create another domain where that domain will route to the same server website URL. So these are the three things I want to do now. So for that, I am signing with AWS Management Console. Now let us create first thing, that is our hosted zone in our Route 53 service. Now I'm opening the Route 53 service to create a hosted zone, private hosted zone, not a public one. It's a private hosted zone for particular VPC I want to create. So I'm just opening my Route 53 service. Now you can see here, I'm opening the hosted zones. Currently, I haven't created any hosted zone, so I don't think it will show you any hosted zones. For this lab, I'm expecting to create one hosted zone for us. That is private hosted zone for particular VPC. You can see there are no hosted zones are available currently. Now I'm expecting to create a hosted zone. And now I'm just providing the hosted zone domain name. So let's say my website containing news. So I want to create, here you can say I'm providing my domain name as internal.news.org. So whatever the request that is coming to this domain must end with this domain name. Now for which type I'm creating this hosted zone for, I'm creating this for private, right? Private hosted zone. So that's why I clicked here and I'm selecting the region as North Virginia, that is the US East region, and selecting the VPC is this, that is the lab VPC. Now I'm just creating this hosted zone. You can see whenever you create a hosted zone, so whenever you create a hosted zone, it will provide you two records. One is a name server record and second one is SOA, that is a start of authority record, right? Yeah. So in this record, now in this hosted zone, you can able to create your records. So whatever the records that you want to create, those you can able to create. Now before creating and verifying that, so let's open our server, that is a EC2 instance, and I want to show you can I able to connect to server or not. At first I want to show you can I able to connect to that server with a internal VPC or not. I have already created two servers for this lab. One is for website and another server is for checking whether we can able to connect to that server or not. You can see this is the internal news server that I've created as a website for me. Now I'm copying this internal news server private IP address. Now I'm expecting to connect to this Booston server to validate or to verify whether we can able to connect to this Booston server, whether we can able to connect to this internal news server from this Booston server or not, where both the servers are present in the same VPC only. Now I'm just clicking, I'm just connect with the sessions manager. So that's why I opened the sessions manager and I'm connecting to it. Now here I want to ping that server, that internal server I want to ping, internal news server that I want to ping. Here you can see I'm writing command that is a ping and I'm pasting the IP address of it. That is this 10.10.0.201. I just pasted the IP address and clicking on enter. Now let us see we can able to connect to that internal server or not. You can see we can able to connect to that internal server, right? Yeah. So now what I'm expecting, I'm expecting to connect to this internal server by using any DNS name, any fancy DNS name. Let's say I want to ping it with a name that is this, the white paper dot internal news.org. So like this I want to ping the same server. Now I'm just clicking on enter. You can see, can we able to connect to the server? No, we cannot able to connect to that server. Now even I am again trying, you can see we cannot able to connect to that server. Now what I'm expecting, I want to create this as the domain name for this server IP address, where I want to access my server by using this domain name. What is that? You can see here the white paper internal news.org. From this I want to connect to the server, right? Yeah. So for that I'm opening this route 53. Now I've already created a hosted zone for what? internal.news.org, right? Yeah. Now I'm creating a record. You can see I'm creating a record. So in this record, I'm specifying what is my domain. You can see I pasted the domain, that is a white paper dot internal dot news dot org. So this is the extension of my hosted zone. This is the domain name that you can put based on your wish. Now what I am expecting, whenever I am getting the request to this, to where I am expecting to route to a particular IPv4 address, right? To my server, right? Yeah. So that IPv4 address I'm entering here. That is this. I'm entering here. Now, since it's a IPv4 address, I'm choosing a record. This a record is used to route the traffic which is coming to this record name. That is this whole record name to this particular IPv4 address. Since I'm routing my traffic from particular record name or domain name to this IP address, IPv4 address. So that's why I'm using a record. Now I'm just clicking on create record. You can see I'm just clicking on create record. Before that, you can even see that my routing policy is simple and time to live is 300. Now I'm moving on with the default options and I clicked on create record. So whenever you clicked on create record, inside this hosted zone, whatever the hosted zone that you created, there the record, whatever you provided, that will be created. The white paper internal news.org that was created with a record. So whenever you request this, then that will be routed to this IP address, right? Yeah. So now I want to try it from my EC2 SSH connection, that is a sessions manager connection. Now, since I updated that, I'm just expecting to reload this page and try to ping that. I'm writing the same command ping and I'm providing the website, that is my domain name, the website paper.internalnews.org. Now I'm seeing, I'm just clicked enter. You can see we connected, right? Yeah. So I'm just clicking on Control C to stop this. You can see we connected to this domain, right? Yeah, internally by using the server which is present in the same VPC, I can able to connect to the EC2 instance, or you can say server by using a domain name where I hosted this particular zone. So first initially I created a hosted zone. Inside that hosted zone, what I provided a record in order to move my traffic coming to this particular domain to this IP address. So let's say I want to route the traffic from one domain to another domain. Let's say I am getting the request from database.internalnews.org. Now that request I want to move to this or forward that request to this domain name. So how to do that? So for that also you have a record that is a canonical record. We can say that as T record. So I want to show you that as well. So before creating that, I'm opening the sessions manager and try to ping with database dot internal dot news dot org. I try to ping this. You can see currently it is not getting the response, right? Yeah. Now I'm just copying the same thing. Yeah, I just copied this. Now I want to create a record where the request coming to that database internal news organization to the request coming to that DNS need to be routed to this DNS. So like that, I want to create a record. So that's why I'm clicking on create record. So since I want to route traffic from one domain to another domain, I need to choose this CNAME record. If you select this CNAME record, you can able to route the traffic from one domain to another domain or other AWS services as well. You can see multiple options are there, multiple record types are there. Based on your record type, you can choose, right? Yeah. Now I'm just using this in order to route my traffic from another domain name to my domain name. So what is the domain name I want to paste? Database. And here, what is the domain name to where I'm expecting to pass the request to this domain? So that's why I provided this. Now I'm just clicking on create. You can see the routing policy also same. Moving on with the default options, I'm creating the record. You can see that record also created here, right? Yeah. Now I'm again opening my sessions manager to check the same request, whether I can able to get the response or not. Might it take a few seconds to minutes in order to get the response. I'm just writing it again, ping space this record. I'm just copying and pasting it here. Yeah, it might take a few seconds to minute to update record. I'm again reloading the page to check it again. It might take a few minutes to accept the request. Now I'm just pasting it. Now you can see it was accepting the request, right? Yeah. So now I'm just clicking on Control C. So in this lab, what we have did, we have created our private hosted zone for particular VPC, right? Yeah. Then after what we did, then after in order to connect to our server, instead of using IP address, we have created a domain name for our server by using which record? A record. Since it's a IPv4 address, we created a record. Let's say it's a IPv6 address, then we'll create a record for that. Now, in order to get the request from other domain, or you can say we are forwarding the request from one domain to another domain by using which record? CNAME record. So those two records we have created in this lab, and we created our private hosted zone also, right? Yeah. So in this way, you can able to create your own private hosted zone, and you can able to manage your company related private website related requests and responses by using Route 53 service. So in this way, you can able to manage private domain management, private domain name server management by using Route 53 service in AWS. I hope this video is understanding to you. If you feel this video is contentful and you got some knowledge regarding hands-on with creating a hosted zone and records inside your Route 53, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video with another interesting topic. Until then, bye bye, guys.